Hello everyone. So as promised, here I am with the best game of second round. Not actually second round. It is called as 1.2 round because in World Cup, it is a match of two games. Two players play with each other for two times. So this time I have a special game which is a very good example of a grandmaster versus a club player. So I think it is going to be very instructive. We are going to learn how a grandmaster tricks his lower rated opponent and just defeats him. So let's start. I will talk about the game now. White is Onischuk, who is a very strong grandmaster, Alexander Onischuk, 2649 rating, and his opponent is a strong club player. He has a 2274 rating, so he's pretty strong. Let's see how the game went. White started his game with pawn to d4, knight f6, knight f3, e6, c4, very general moves, and now b6. This opening is known as Queen's Indian defense, and White continues with pawn to g3. Basic idea of White is of playing g3 is to challenge this bishop on b7 by playing bishop to g2. So bishop b7, bishop g2. Black attacked in the center with pawn to c5. Now black's idea is to put his knight on c6. Yeah, because he have already played pawn to c5. So white stops it by playing pawn to d5. Now this looks like a pawn sacrifice because black is attacking that pawn thrice and white is only defending it twice. So game continues e d5. And generally, in the past, I have seen games with white where white goes knight to h4. By pinning this pawn, white regains the pawn. But here the game can continue like let's say bishop e7, maybe c d5, pawn to d6, castle, castle, and the game will go on. Black will try to put his knight on d7, then knight, maybe in this knight on d7, bishop f6, maybe rook e8, bishop f8, g6, bishop g7. Those are the ideas of black. But and this is a very common position. So I think black player had prepared this variation pretty much. So white tried to trick him in the opening and he plays cd5. Now this is not a very common move because white is giving up a pawn, but the idea is logical. After bishop d5, white puts his knight on c3 and he attacks the bishop on d5. Now black has to move that bishop again. So white has won a tempo. So bishop to c6. And now if white plays castle, and now if you compare the position, white is a pawn down, but in return his development is very fast. He has three pieces developed. Also his castling has been done, whereas black's two pieces are developed and black needs two moves to castle. So let's see how white continue. So black goes bishop e7, very good move. Black needs to do castle as soon as possible. That's what opening principle says. Do castling as soon as possible. White goes for e4, another pawn sacrifice. I like this move very much because if now black ignores the pawn, pawn just sits on e5 and stops this d7 pawn to move further. Let's say knight e4 looks like a move, but then again this doesn't look good. Then after knight e5, I think white is doing very better. Black's position is very cramped. He cannot play knight a6 because then there are threats like queen d3 maybe attacking both the knights. This looks good for white. Very good strong control over d5 square. So black says, okay, I cannot allow that. I should grab that pawn. It's a free pawn. Let's take it. And it is a okay move. I don't have anything against this. Now, next move I liked very much. White plays is knight to d5. Now, this is a very logical move because first of all, white is two pawns down. So he cannot exchange the pieces. If he exchanges the pieces, the attack will decrease. So he needs to keep minor pieces on the board to keep the attack going. So he puts his knight to d5. Now black cannot kill the knight obviously because after queen d5 it's a double attack. So knight d5, and here I think black should have castled. Just follow the opening principle, do castling as soon as possible. But black player played this development move d6. Now this looks like a natural move, but it is an error of the game. After this, white started the dominance. After rook e1, black has no good way to stop the to defend the knight except playing f5. So he goes for f5 because after knight f6 there is a knight into f6 and black has to kill g f6, then bishop h6, and black cannot castle anymore. So black goes pawn to f5 and now black is all ready to do castling. Okay, so white cannot just play normally like bishop f4 or h4. White has to do something faster. So what does he do? Knight to g5, sacrificing a piece to improve the attack, we can say. So first of all, knight cannot kill because then the e7 bishop hangs, and this is good for white. So here black still can castle, but it looks very bad because after, let's say, knight e4, and bishop e4, this position is already very good for white. Next queen h5 is coming and the pawn is falling. Then there are so many sacrifices also. Just to give you a sample line, this knight d7 will be gone with knight e7 check. Already it is over. Because after queen e7 there is this bishop e7 check. And after king h7, this is over. So black saw all of that and he decided to pick up the knight. Now instead of picking up the bishop, obviously white killed this knight which is coming between our rook and king. So he said, okay, just kill that knight. Pawn into, there is nothing good here. Rook into e4 check. Now here black king has to move to f8. There are no good squares because after king d7, queen g5 and white regains the piece. So actually this is a checkmate. Oh, after queen g4 it's a checkmate only. So king d7 is a blunder. So king f8. And now if you look at the position, white is a piece down, but in return he has got opponent's castle broken. Okay, and he has very strong pieces. Queen is going to come to f3 now, and white's pieces are very nice. So bishop into g5 first, queen into g5, and queen f3 check. Now next few moves are forcing in nature. Black doesn't have any other alternative. So here king g8 is forced, pawn to h4. Now queen has to move somewhere where she will be protecting the e7 square, otherwise it is going to be a checkmate. And first of all, she cannot kill the knight because then there is this discover check. And after queen d5 check, black will lose everything. He will lose this. Next, he can't. And this is already losing. This position is losing for white, for black. Sorry. So black has to pull back to d8. There is no other good square. And now comes rook to e7. Awesome move, threatening a checkmate on f7. There are two possibilities, bishop e8 and queen f8. After bishop to e8, I think still queen b3 wins, because after bishop f7 there is knight f6 check, and there is nothing I can see for black. So after black plays queen to f8, and here you can pause the video. Actually, you know the move here right now. After that move, black just resigned the game, and it is queen to b3. Idea is pretty simple. Queen is looking at this diagonal, and white needs to just give a double check, and it is going to be a checkmate. So only way to delay the checkmate is to just kill the rook. But then also after knight e7, let's say king f8, and knight c6, knight c6, queen f3 is also sufficient to win the game. But rook e1 is stronger here, and white can just plan to attack like queen d3, queen f5 check, and it looks pretty good to me for white. So in this way, this master player has beaten this, we can say, a strong club player by just playing logical chess. White just gave up two pawns to gain an attack, to gain the initiative, and then black should have done castling here because he was two pawns up. His king safety is very important right now, but instead he played this d6 move, which looks very natural, guys, but that was the reason of the downfall for black. So yeah, so I hope you liked this game. I enjoyed this game very much, and it was very instructive. So with this I am going to take off, and I will bring you another game which will be good in the second round of the World Cup. So bye bye till then. Thank you for watching.